is April 30th, 2022. And tonight I'm going to talk about a real topic, which is relationships. Yeah, that thing that most of us look to have, look to want to be in, and look to want a perfect partner. And it's all challenging to attain. But this particular subject matter is something that I wanted to touch on because a lot of women, no attack on you ladies, is that a lot of us are into confusion, delusion, and illusion about relationships. Let me be more specific. Some years ago, I was with a friend of mine, and she met a friend of hers. So they're engaging in a conversation about this guy this woman is dating. Now, the guy she was dating, she found out was cheating on her. And so she somehow got the notion in her mind that, well, she's in control of what's going on. She's in control of his cheating because in her mind, she's loaning her boyfriend out to this woman because he's going to come home to her. So in her mind is, well, you know what? She's now put herself in an illusional state that she's in control of her boyfriend or man friend or guy friend. And she's now deluded to the fact that she is still in control and that she's also in charge, and as if she's running things and she's gonna wait for him to come home as if, you know what, he's coming home to me, so therefore I have control over the situation, not that other woman. So, and I found that interesting. I'm thinking to myself, So that's one story. Now the other story is I ran into, I didn't run into a lady. I was standing at a bus stop. This is when I was still located at New York. And waiting for the bus, and she came and she's waiting for the bus also. And we got into a conversation about relationships. Now, she had just got a divorce. And as we were talking, she was saying how, again, she caught her husband cheating, her ex-husband cheating now. And that once she found out that he was cheating, she ended the relationship. You know, again, when you're emotionally hurt and distraught, we can become confused as to how we're seeing things and how we're rationalizing things and emotionalizing things. So, so she said to me, you know, I ended the relationship. I left him because, you know, he can have her. And so I said to myself again, no. She was in a state of confusion, emotionally hurt, which can lead to an illusion of I'm in control and in charge of what he does and how I respond, and deluding to where Again, I'm in charge. I no longer wanted him. I'm making the decisions, so therefore I control the outcome. And I had to say to her, no, you didn't leave him. He left you. And she was like, oh yeah, he left you. After you decided, he was cheating, you knew some things were going on in the relationship that we know when our partners change, their feelings change for us, or when just we know those little changes that weren't there before, and we could feel someone pulling away from us. So this is this conversation I had with her. I said, you had the feeling pulling away from you. You knew something was wrong. Your woman's intuition knew something was wrong. So in that conclusion, you didn't leave him. He left you. He was already leaving you. He was already moving away from you somewhere else. He was in charge of how he moved. You weren't in charge of him. And so that's the common denominator between these two stories I just told. The first one about this lady saying she's loaning her man out because he's going to come home to her. So she was in emotional confusion. She was hurt. Then she started going into the illusion that she was in control and in charge of what he's doing and how he's moving. And she went and told Delusion that she's in control and in charge of the whole situation of, you know what, he's coming home to me, so therefore I'm controlling the situation. No, he moved away from you too. He was moving away. You decided to stay and put up with it. And that's a choice and decision that you make, which is an adult decision. Now most of us, so those two stories they both were in confusion. They were confused about what was going on with their mates. They were in illusion to where, you know what, their thoughts were not rational, and they deluded themselves into thinking that they were in charge of what their men were doing. So ladies, I just come on here to say, let's be honest with ourselves and open with ourselves and start new ways of communicating with how we're seeing things. This is not a new conversation. Most of us are, because we're in the age of awareness and communication now, and a lot of us are being synchronized and in tune with messages that are coming to us, that are opening up to us, that are already in us and that we're exploring. Let's look at and see really what's going on and stop being in confusion. Easier said than done, I know. Stop being in the illusion, also easier said than done, and also delusion of thinking that when our mates begin to move away from us, that we're in charge and in control of the situation. When we're not even in charge or in control of our own emotions, most times. Because how could you be? When someone that you've been with for a while, how many years it may have been? That's emotional ties. That become, I guess that's what they call now in this, they call these now soul ties. That's the new language of the day, soul ties. So when you're with someone and you're intermingling with them, your energies, of course, become joined and you can feel them. You synchronize with them. So when something goes awry, you can feel that also. You can feel the energy break apart. You can feel the detachment. So we need to pay attention to those things that are happening and know that it's okay to be shocked. It's okay to be in disbelief. It's okay to be confused. But let's not go into illusion and delusion behind all the confusion. Because it keeps things broken. And also, it creates traumas in us that we can't clearly, it creates things in us. And y'all, excuse me, because like I'm not used to talking about relationships, so um, it's hard to express sometimes, at least for me. It may be easier for others to express, but for me right now, it's not that easy to express. But we need to grab a hold of our emotions, take a sit down, take a look around, and know what we're feeling, know what we're seeing, and don't be in confusion as to what we're seeing, what's happening around us, what's happening in the relationship. Like I said, it is a traumatic thing, especially if you're in love with someone and they begin to break from you and you're not ready to let the relationship go. It's heartbreaking. So, and yeah, I do speak from experience of a heartbreak. And actually 2 heartbreaks. But eventually you do get over things, but before you get over it, you need to, or it's okay to feel those emotions, to cry and the hurt, be in pain. You're going to feel the suffering. It depends on how deeply you were involved with that person and then how deeply you care for that person. You know, some people can be in a relationship and once they find out that the spouse is cheating or their mate is cheating or their boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating, they can just leave and won't have any feelings about it. Those people, I need to take a lesson from them. I need to take a lesson from those who can just detach like that and not hold any, feelings behind. Because they just say, you know what, life goes on, gonna continue. It hurt a little bit, it stung. But then the ones who are deeply wounded too, doesn't take anything from you. This is how you have to grieve, because that was me. I'm one of them deep ones. I'm one of the people who grieve deeply, and it's hard for me to like start anew. So, with that said, it is today, April 30th, as I said, and it is a full moon. We're in Taurus, and we do have an eclipse today, and it is a great time to renew yourself, renew your energies, renew what you aspire for yourself and desire for yourself and others around you, and keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. By Curtis Mayfield, The Impressions. That's a great song. Y'all need to listen to that song. So, with that said, I'm doing this video at nighttime. So, for those of you who have daytime in your part of the world, enjoy the rest of it. For those over here, enjoy the rest of your evening. And until next time, this is VBeautiful. Stay tuned.